What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another live flipping session. I'm your host with the most, Escapenomics here, working with 2,133,000,000 GP today, guys. I have a feeling we're going to have a good session today, so let's just pop over on into it. We have Alex P, and let's see, who else was in here? I think we had Robert L in here as well right before the start of the stream. So welcome everybody. Let's get into it today. And this new meta of flipping, guys, it's crazy. I'm still learning like crazy. I do have a video ready to go up for you guys on Wednesday. Well, it's recorded, okay? It's not edited yet, but we will have that for you in a short minute. It's going to teach you a little bit more about flipping with this new meta, with the real-time price information. And you know what? We do have a 25-minute video for you guys, so I hope you do enjoy that. And now we have Lewintag. He says, yo, good to see you, Lewintag. We have Huz as well. He says, hey, Scape, I have class, but question, what happened to your max cash stack? I have it. It's in the bank. Some of it's invested, some of it isn't. I do have max cash currently, but I usually don't use all of it. That way, if we make profits here on the stream, then it just goes into the stack, and I don't have to keep going into my bank and things like that. But I do have max cash. Don't you worry. I can show you if you want. I mean, here's 17 mil here sitting on the sidelines, and we have more platinum tokens as well that we can use. I actually have a little bit more on an alt, but anyway, that's a different story. Now, let's go ahead and get into it, guys. I do want to go ahead and get some good flips listed here today. So I do have a list of flips that I think will do pretty well, and this real-time pricing is really awesome, guys. I mean, I didn't think it was going to be that great at first, but when there's a lot of volatility on the markets, the flips are extremely good. So we're going to start out with the Arcane Spirit Shield today. I've currently got a listing up on here. It says it's going for a pretty decent margin right now, so I'm going to go ahead and list a few of these. We'll just get 3 of them, considering that the margins move so quickly. We probably won't be able to flip more than 3 of those at its current price level. Now we're going to let that sit and do its thing. Going to look for some more flips here in the meantime. It does look like a lot of stuff doesn't really have great margins as of right now, but we will still get some stuff going here. The Dragon Hunter Lance is going to be next. Now, I do expect that during these live streams, we will have a little bit of trouble making some profit, right? Because we are flipping at a very volatile time. Not volatile time, sorry. A very popular time, which does bring a lot of volume, but it's going to bring very tight margins as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how we can actually work this to make a little bit of profit here on the live streams. Going to do my best to make up as much GP as possible, of course. Now we're gonna go ahead and get the Sanguesti staff in here as well. Sanguesti staff does look like it's trading for a pretty good margin. We just got a price listing come in for it, so we're gonna go and list that for a little bit over its current margin. We'll try to buy a few of these. Currently, we have no items coming in yet, but we will work and do our best to actually get some things moving. Do want to get the Justiciar face guards in as well. We're going to list these for, again, a little bit over the margin, not too much, guys. Now, with this new meta, you do want to list above the listed margins online, but you do not want to list too high up, because then you're going to crush the margin, and you're going to cause other flippers to do the same thing, right? If you if you overcut them, they're going to overcut you, and it's going to spiral down into a zero margin situation. So that's why, 1, cutting not that aggressively is important, and 2, don't continue to cut an item down in price, because you're going to lose money. Just have a little bit of patience on it and you will be okay. Again, guys, I do have a detailed guide coming out on this in the very short-term future. Should be out by about Wednesday. That goes over some not high margin flipping. It does do high margin flipping. Yes, we do have a crazy situation in that episode. I'm not going to lie. But it was more so focused on the, I totally losing my train of thought. It is focused on the real-time flipping, so you guys will, I think, find that useful. But anyway, Jay says, had a good weekend. Good to see you, Jay. Yes, I did have a very nice weekend. Thank you so much. Good luck with the Arcane. It's such a headbanger. I'll do my best, Huz. Hopefully we can make a little bit of money on that. I do feel good about it today. But anyway, guys, how are you doing today? Hopefully the real-time prices are actually helping you more than they're hurting you. I think overall for the flipping community, it is a good thing, and it's just good for the community in general, I feel, right? Real-time price information is definitely something that I feel like the community would want, as far as I know, but I could be wrong. I mean, when I talk about the community, I'm talking about the old school RuneScape community as a whole. Definitely some people who did not want real-time price information who are active flippers, and I get that. I personally have had a good time with it so far, and I do think it's actually better for overnight flipping and passive flipping and investments, because now we have this super accurate data. So, you know, there's a give and take on this situation in itself. American says, I hate the new method, but can barely make money in the beginning. Well, it's definitely harder for smaller cash stacks because a lot of people can flip those smaller cash stack items, right? So they get super, super competitive. And I definitely see that being an issue going forward and having trouble flipping those cash stacks. Now, that being said, one thing that hold on, we actually have another flip here I do want to go ahead and list, but another thing that I will say about that is you have to shift away with those smaller cash stacks now. You have to go for items that are not super high volume. I really think it's like medium to low volume flips are really the way you want to do it these days, because those are the only ones that have a decent margin, right? It does take a lot of hunting to find these items and to find a good situation on these items, but I really think that's the only way these days, honestly. I've tried out, high volume stuff, and it's just not really working out that well for me. Still making about as much as I was before, so it's not really hurt, but it's not really great, where you can make a lot more money using the real-time margins on lower volume stuff, even with a smaller cash stack, or even just gear related items. It doesn't really necessarily have to be super low volume. It could be pretty medium volume, like Barrow's gear and stuff like that, Berserker rings, Archer's rings. You really want to focus on flipping like one of those at a time, as compared to just flipping a ton of high volume stuff and doing it that way. At least in my experience so far, that's how it's been for me. So for some reason my chat isn't working. I'm hoping it works here in a minute, but I do have it over on the side. I just have to look all the way over here to read it. Oh, there we go. It's starting to work. Okay. Whew. I was a little nervous there for a minute, guys. Hex says, shoot, the second I open the stream, you're flipping the Senguesti. What, did I overcut your margins? I do apologize, man. Now, the margin came down a little bit on that Senguesti. I am going to leave my current listing where it is. I think that will fill in the end. We just have to have a little bit of patience on that. And I really do think that patience, it's not all about just rapid flipping everything, guys, which you might think that is the case, but it's not. You'll see in the video that I'm coming out with, I kind of talk through when you want to wait versus when you want to actually just sell something immediately. There's different situations for each item, and I honestly don't think it's just flip everything as fast as you can. That's not the way you want to do it. There are certain situations where, yes, you should be doing that, but for the most part, you should really still be patient on a lot of these items. Yes, you want to move your buy offers so they are competitive and they are staying on margin, but you don't want to like dump items because someone else listed it lower and it sold immediately. You can still sell those items in a lot of situations, and we are selling the Arcane Spirit Shield, and we're a little bit under margin on that. We're not trying to stretch the margin or anything, but anyway. Wuggy says, bot flipping is killing it. I don't really think bot flipping is an issue right now. I would highly doubt that bots really have incorporated the information for real-time price data at this point. I think it's just competition. Lots of people are flipping items now. Consider this. The old school RuneScape wiki came out with their price, what is it called? Like their price lookup thing that shows the real-time prices with graphs and everything like that. I bet that is having a bigger effect on current markets right now. And we are at one of the most popular times to play RuneScape, right? Which is 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, my time, which is when we stream, right? So it is a little bit competitive. It's a little bit crazy right now, but I don't think that bots are really destroying it quite yet. It's too early to really make a consensus about a lot of this stuff. And yes, it's good to make a consensus quick so you can, provide content on it or just teach people the methods that you're using to make money. But that being said, I'm still undecided on if I think this update is really truly healthy for the game or not, or if it's profitable or whatever the case may be. So honestly, right now, I'm pretty happy with things. I don't think there's anything that's too detrimental yet. I do expect that bots could be a problem in the future. I'm not saying they won't be, but at this point in time, I think it's just competition. We have Hex saying, yeah, it's competition. Everyone thinks they have an edge now with the real-time prices, so it's really a lot of people jumping in. Think of it like a new game content. Exactly. And as time goes on, people will stop, active flipping this much, I believe. It might not, bring everyone out of it, but I do think a lot of people will stop active flipping as much as they currently do. Anyway, the Senguesti staff, we're still off margin on this. We're still listed for our original price. Might knock that down just a little bit, but I do think patience is going to prevail in that situation on the Senguesti. Now, the Senguesti buy offer did drop slightly, so what I'm going to do is I do see a downward price movement on this item, I believe. So what I'm actually going to list about 20k lower than its current margin, and we're going to try to pick up a few cheap ones. Now, that way we can average into the Sanguesti a little bit here and try to come out on top with a little bit of a profit. But how are you guys doing today? Hopefully you are enjoying the stream today. Definitely drop a like if you are. It really does help me out a lot. We have 237 mil on hand. I should be a little bit more active in following my margins here as we are off margin on these face guards here. So I do want to actually adjust that right now and try to pull that offer up here a little bit. Now, it's not the easiest thing to flip these days because you do have to be very active in what you're flipping. You have to really watch your prices as you have them listed. So you don't want to let anything sit for too long, especially on the buy end. If you're selling something, I feel like it's a little bit different, but for the most part, you want to be careful with your buy prices. Anyway, let's see here. We're looking good right now. No luck on these ancestral robe sets yet, but it does say we are on margin for those, so I don't think we really need to freak out about that too much yet. We'll let that sit and do its thing. Jim OSRS says, more competition and lower margins will lead people to ditch flipping and lead to bigger margins as time goes on. Exactly, Jim. I could see a lot of people dropping off flipping if they can't figure out the new strategies or the new meta, or as just people leave the game in general, then we're going to have less competition, right? If someone's not playing the game, they're definitely not flipping. Well, they could be. I mean, some people do that, but for the most part, it's not the case. STW Benny says, I bought 3 bonds yesterday, and now I'm at 25 mil GP. Very nice, Benny. Hopefully that gets you back on your feet and ready to flip, man. I made 27 mil today just flipping. Holy moly. That's actually it's a good amount. I think I'm up like 50 mil in the past 48 hours, which for me is actually a pretty good performance. I did do a lot of flipping on Saturday and Sunday though, because I was like trying to figure out the new meta and like the new strategy, and that's kind of why I did stream. I wanted to test it out, figure it out myself, and here we are trying to teach it to you guys. Now, we have Jason. He says, how do you know when to buy outside of the margins? Basically, what I do is I look at the price, and if it's kind of hard to describe because I tried to do it on the video as well. It's just not that easy. Basically, what I do is if the buy price is shifting downwards a lot, then I know the sell price is probably doing the same thing and it's going to come down and I'll have to list it a little bit lower. Now, if it's doing the opposite thing where the selling price is slowly increasing, then I know I'll have to adjust my buy offer to be a little bit above margin to actually be able to buy any. Because those movements are like momentum, right? And people want to get in on that momentum, so they aggressively increase their offers to actually have those offers be filled because they expect it to rise further. And it's the same thing when items are dumping, right? People keep selling for lower and lower because their items will not sell, so they have to go lower, things like that. So it's hard. In my video I talk about it and show the margin, so hopefully it'll help you out a little bit. It's just not the easiest thing to explain. Now, we're off margin on the Grazi here. We're going to rip that up a little bit here as well. It's pretty tough right now because there's a lot of competition, in my opinion, at this moment in time. We are at a prime time for flipping. I wish I could adjust the stream times now, but I can't because, honestly, I think one of the most important things about flipping now is to flip during off-peak times because you want to flip when there's less competition because now it's going to make a huge difference since everyone has access to all of the prices in the game. So off-peak flipping is definitely a large strategy you're going to want to take under your wing per se, and you're going to want to try to flip during off-peak times. I know not everyone can like time when they play or get on at every moment in time, but it is going to make a big difference in your profit per hour. I really do think so. Anyway, we have Jay Hefner. He says, after giving it some thought since last week, I don't think bots will destroy margins that much, at least not on high margin items. A bot farm is not going to risk a bill for flipping twisted bows. That's true. They might, though. I mean, there's tons of different bots in this game. Like, many bots attack different sectors of the game. I definitely could see a couple flipping bots getting into the mix. Let's see. Austin says, hi, Scape. Is there any need to margin check anymore? P.S. Any Cheetos? No, I don't have any, I'm not eating any Cheetos. I don't think I've ever eaten Cheetos on stream. But anyway, no, you don't need to margin check anymore. Now that real-time prices are available, margin checking is sort of a thing of the past. And look at this, guys. The Sanguesti staff offer actually did end up filling. So I'm actually going to lower this even further as I do expect prices to come down even more as we start selling these off. So interesting to see that go through. And it does look like, let's see, did my Sanguesti offer update? No, it didn't really update. Interesting. Okay, we'll leave it where it is for now then. And the Elysian, man, crashing really, really hard. Guys, please watch. When I put out this video on Wednesday, okay, the guide that's coming out about real-time flipping, please watch like halfway through the video when I buy the Elysian, okay? It is one of the craziest situations I've ever been on in an item in my entire flipping career. And I'm so happy I caught it on video. Like, it is so crazy. I cannot wait for you guys to see it. It's just wild what happens to it. It could be good, it could be bad. I'm not going to ruin it for you guys. I think it's really interesting, though. Anyway, we did sell those Sanguestis again. Looks like they are selling for a decent price here. Nothing too crazy. Someone just bought a bunch of them, it looks like. So I could list this for a little bit higher, but I'd rather just sell it and get out of the flip. Try and get in on something else here. We are still waiting for that Grazi to sell as well. It does look like we're still on margin for that. As far as I know. So, actually, we're not. It's actually come down a little bit in margin, but we did get the Sanguesti off. So, we can move on to something else here. Now, I have a bunch of items I'm just looking through right now from a profit standpoint, trying to figure out what's really going to be good for me to flip here today. And it does look like we came across a nice item here. That's going to be the Armadillo Chain Skirt. Now, we're currently up about 1 million GP on the session today. How far are we in? 15 minutes in? That is not too bad at all. So, let's go ahead and list some of these Armadillo Chain Skirts here. I really do think these are going to be a good one for us to try today, and we'll try to get 8 of them. Probably not going to work out, but that bought really quickly and it instant bought, but that's actually a good sign for us. So if you have something instant buying like this, I don't think it's the end of the world, especially if it says you're on margin from a price standpoint. In the past, I would have adjusted this and said like, hey, you should cut your offer lower if something's dumping on you. But now I handle it a little bit differently because currently we're looking at about a 99K margin on the Armadillo Chain Skirts, and they are instant buying on me, but I'm not freaking out about it because the sell price hasn't moved at all yet, as well as the buy price. So I think we're okay. I think we will be able to flip this, especially since we can take such a large supply off the Grand Exchange in the short term and just turn it around for sell offers. Now, we did get that Grazi off here. It does look like the Grazis are actually going back up in price here. Now, we're going to go list those for the same exact sell price we just listed for. Wait, that's too high in price. No, it's not. That was good. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. Okay, we're good. So it does look like the Grazis did fill, and the offer that we had in was above margin, actually. And this is still above margin here, so we're actually making more than I anticipated on those items. Whew. Sorry for neglecting the chat here, guys. Welcome to the stream today. Thank you for tuning in today. It really does mean a lot. I've got a great video coming out, guys, that's going to talk about real-time price information and how to utilize it to make as much money as possible on the Grand Exchange. And I'll continue to make guides. I mean, I think this real-time price information has really got me motivated to, like, make different kinds of content for you guys because there's so many people who don't know how to utilize this information yet that I still think if you learn how to do it, there is a slight advantage. So there's definitely a lot of different little strategies you have to use, different tips and tricks to maximize that GP per hour, and that's what I'm going to bring to you guys. And I'm still learning, of course. But anyway, bots can accurately flip big and make more money than a human. They definitely can flip for longer than a human and more accurately, right? Because they can easily see when a price moves and relist it. So they will be a force to be reckoned with. That being said, a human has more intelligence when it comes to price movements than a bot does. It's very easy if you flip for a while with this new price information. You will see situations where people dump items that you can actually get into and buy a ton of the supply and actually profit when the item rebounds. There's a lot of that going on here, and you will see, trust me, you might not believe me, but you will see in the video exactly what I'm talking about because I pointed out, I talk about it, and there's just like a crazy situation that goes on in the video that I'm so happy we caught. But anyway, now it does look like the the Arcane Spirit Shield also popping up a nice little good margin again. So we're gonna go back in on that. I know I'm hyping up the video a lot. Lewintek says the suspense. I'm hyping it up a lot because I think it's really interesting and it has a ton of good information in there for you guys. So I can't wait to get that out to you. Overnights still work? Yes. Overnights are definitely still in the running. They're a really great moneymaker. Nothing has changed on overnights, except maybe being more accurate on your overnight listings. I think that's like really the only thing that has changed. You have a little bit more accuracy, as you can see all of the price movements now that fluctuate throughout the day, which is really great. You can also see the exact price it is before you log off, which is just really nice. It'll be nice when some like mobile apps incorporate the data just to see like on the fly you can check your stuff and see if you're looking good on your overnights or your day flips, whatever it may be. Might have to comment several times for the algo. Thank you, Jay, man. Appreciate that. But we just passed 4K subscribers. I mean, hey, that's what I like to see, man. I'm very happy about it. Hopefully we'll get 5K somewhat soon. I mean, 5K, that's kind of a big milestone, don't you guys think? Like, that's a lot of subscribers. Oh my god. So I'll be really excited to hit that as well. Of course, I'm excited to hit 4K too. Now, Twisted Bow is peaking a pretty good margin right now. We currently don't have enough cash on hand to flip it, so I'm going to try to pull some together here and actually get in on a Twisted Bow. I think if we can get a Twisted Bow flipped, that would be really, really nice. And it does look like the margin is spreading out for us a little bit here, so I would like to take advantage of that here in the short term. Let's see. Hold on. Wait, that's not right. I have to focus so much when I set my flips now. It's just not that straightforward. I have to make sure I get it right so I don't get burned on some items. Hamed says, where can you buy... where can you check updated prices on the fly? RuneLite or GE Tracker? No, there is the old school RuneScape wiki has the most up-to-date price information. There's an OSRS wiki's like prices system. I don't know what to call it, website, where it looks like GE Tracker, but it's all the real-time price information on that. Definitely recommend checking that out. It's super, super helpful. And if you want to find out where that is, you can ask people in the chat, or you can join us on Discord. We have a link on the stream here and in the description below. If you want to check that out, we'll easily point it out for you in the Discord. Now, let's hope we can get this Twisted Bow going. I mean, I'd love to get a Twisted Bow flip here on stream. We have SS Kappa. He says, came to the stream, a live stream late. Good luck on the stream. Thank you, Kappa, man. It's going well so far. Currently 1.2 mil in profit, about 21 minutes in. We are working at an extremely competitive time with a lot of players online. So it's kind of interesting to see how we're going to do here today. It was kind of like this last stream as well, where we had a lot of people flipping during the same time. We were not even flipping, just playing the game, honestly, and here we are. So, okay, someone just cut the our Armored Chain Skirt margin, which is fine. We're still in a good profit range on that, but as I was saying before, these did start instant buying, and we didn't freak out, and we're currently in a profit on those, so very, very nice. And that's what I mean, like, there's so much price movement now, there's so much volatility on a lot of these items that basically at any point in time, you can make a good buck flipping a couple things. Like, if you're just patient or you see, like, a situation, it's very hard to describe. I'll put it that way. Without showing the price information on screen, it is very hard to describe it. I wonder if we will see any pump and dumps with all the noobs. It definitely is harder to pump and dump now because there are more people flipping at any point in time, so more people can kind of, like, mess with your flip, if that makes sense, even your pump. So I think that's a good thing. That's a win in my book. Less manipulation is a good thing. Alright, someone definitely has a fat offer in on this Twisted Bow. Hold on. Let me get my margins. Okay, that should hit. If that doesn't hit, I would be very surprised. Anyway, guys, hopefully you are doing well today. Sorry if I'm not that enthusiastic today. I'm trying to be. I'm just a little bit tired. I did not get good sleep last night, so that tends to be a theme with me if you've noticed. But I am doing my best here to keep it live and entertaining today, so hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Leave a like if you are. Now, we do have these face guards, which haven't really been working out for us, but we are on margin for them, so I think that's just going to be a very patient situation for those. They should swing in our favor if we wait a little bit longer here. Also, I had an insane Ring of the Gods flip. It was like 3 mil over the weekend, which was freaking insane. But anyway, I'll try to pull that up here in a minute. We did get the Twisted Bow, though. We're currently looking at over 1 million GP as long as we can flip this thing. So I'm going to do my best to get this thing off as quickly as possible. And we'll try to cycle back in for another one if we do get it. We must be off margin for these Spirit Shields. No, we're still on. It says we're still on margin for the Spirit Shields. Probably just not an updated price, if I had to guess. So maybe we just knock that up a little bit further. There we go. That should hit right there. And we did get another chain skirt off here. See if that updated. No, still says we're good on the chain skirts, so we're going to leave that there a little bit longer. Anyway, guys, if you have any questions about what to flip with your cash stack or anything related to flipping in old school RuneScape, I'm your guy. Let me know. I love talking about flipping and just answering your guys' questions. I'll give you the best descriptions that I can about flipping in this current state. Again, still learning, and I have a video coming out on it, but I can still talk about it live if you guys want. I'll give you the best tips I can, at least in the short term, to hold you over on until Wednesday when we have the video coming out. Let's try the Twisted Bow margin again, moved with the sell offer here. So I'm listing it even lower, about 50K lower than, oh, wow, there we go. There we go, boys. Let's go back in and get another Twisted Bow here. Try to get that moving again. And our margin on the Twisted Bow is revealed, unfortunately. Austin says, do you think it's more or less important to cut your losses when a margin moves in this current state? Honestly, I feel like it's better to hold. It really depends. Like, God, that's never really an easy question. I would say hold it. There's so much volatility that most of the time, if an item crashes like 20 mil on you, just hold it through the dark times and it will come back up. I mean, that's in my experience. But if I said hold an item and then I logged off, for example, with this Elysian, then I'd currently be down about 45 mil on the Elysian from where I bought it. So it's hard to say. I personally have been holding items if they've gone bad for longer periods of time, but that's just me. I could be wrong. It's really an opinion thing. I think it's definitely more risky to hold on to it. Sometimes it's easier just to take the loss and walk away from it, but I have been holding and it has been going well. Look at the prices wiki. If it's at the peak, don't hold. But if it's at the low/mid, I'd hold a little. That's a great tip coming in from Kappa as well. I haven't actually really used the price graphs yet. I really should get on that though, because those graphs are probably amazing for tracking flips. And also seeing like short-term opportunity, those graphs are probably killer in making a profit. I should do a whole video on that once I discover the best way to do it. Great suggestion coming in from Kappa, though, as always, as always. Still no luck getting that second Twisted Bow yet. We'll just wait a little bit longer on that thing. No Arcanes yet either. Interesting. We'll let it sit. We won't rush that since it still says we're on margins, so I'd hate to cut the margins too much on that and just, you know, lose all of our profit, right? Look for another item in the meantime here. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. We'll do that. Dragon Warhammer showing a decent margin for us today. We're going to go in on that. Whew. Anyway, guys, hopefully you're doing well today. We're making a quick buck today, 2.2 mil in about 27 minutes, looking pretty good as of right now. Currently averaging about 5.3 mil an hour during one of the most competitive times to flip, so I feel like that's actually really, really good in our situation. Very happy about that. Definitely not going to complain about that. I'm a bit of a Chad. I'm definitely a Chad, for sure. Anyway. Thank you, Emily, for the kind compliments. Do appreciate it. It's weird. Have you guys tried flipping, like, some of the Third Age stuff? Like, the Third Age Longsword or the Third Age Pickaxe since the real-time price update? Because I see people trading these items, and I'm like, how are they doing that? Because I would hate to risk so much capital to actually go ahead and trade one of these things because the volume on them is just so low. So, like, are people succeeding on these massive flips? Anyway. Glazed Sun says, do you find yourself updating your offers more often than before with the RuneLite data? Glazed, absolutely, man. I'm like super on top of my offers these days. If anything moves on the RuneLite side, not the RuneLite side, the price information side with the real-time data side, oh my god, I cannot speak today. If the prices move at all, then I do adjust my offers for the most part. There are certain situations where I will hold a little bit longer, and I think Kappa brought up a great point about that. Like if the item is at low to mid price, then maybe it's better to hold it, but if it's at a high price, should probably dump it and sell it and move on to another item. That being said, I have not used the price graphs at all yet. I don't think it's really an asset that goes along with my flipping style, but going forward, I definitely will go ahead and use it because I think it is a really good way to just kind of like to like manage your risk in a sense. Like if an item's at a really high price, it's probably going to come down. It could keep going up, but you know, if it's above mid price, it's really, there's not that much thought behind it really. Austin says, I'm usually too scared to flip super expensive items such as the Tebow, LE, Harmorb. Do you think it's safer to flip them now? Yeah, I would say it's a little bit, well, things are a little bit more volatile, right? Price goes up and down a ton. That is definitely one thing. Now, that being said, I do think it is better to flip these items in this situation, right? Because now that you can see where the price is going, exactly where exactly where it's going, you can really monitor your flip a lot better, and it will give you more confidence in actually flipping the item. Let me go ahead and do these. You know, I keep wanting doing. Oh, my God, I cannot speak. I want to do the face guard, but it keeps moving up on us. I'm going to go back in and do it again. But again, it's really having a tough time getting in on that Justiciar face guard today. The daily price is helpful, boys, especially helpful with lower volume items. Oh, Kappa, that's a big tip for me, dude, because I was not looking at the price graphs on the wiki at all, which is crazy. I really should utilize those more into my strategy. Still struggling on these chain skirts. Wow. They really came down a lot on us, didn't they? Still looking for some decent items to go ahead and flip here today, guys. Let's do the oh, we don't actually have enough money on hand. I was just like, we should keep doing some flips, but I don't really have enough to do it. I do have a nice item selected here. I'm not going to say what it is quite yet. It is a dragon-related item, though. STW Benny says, I can't seem to find any flips right now. The best thing about the new flipping like website, the OSRS wiki prices website, is that you can star items and it remembers in your browser which items you starred. So you can go back at any time and look through the exact same items every single session, which is literally amazing. I mean, that's basically what GE Tracker has, right? With their favorites feature, but it's only a paid feature on GE Tracker, which is crazy. So you basically now have that for free on all items or any item you really want to track, right? So that, I think, in my opinion, makes a huge difference when it comes to flipping efficiency in your flipping sessions. If you guys haven't tried that out yet or explored it, I highly recommend checking it out. Probably one of the best things that's come to flipping in a long time. That website, honestly. Let's go ahead and do the Dragon Hunter crossbow here, guys. That's the dragon item I was talking about. I didn't want to reveal it. I didn't want people to jump on it too quickly. And we'll go ahead and get a few of these going here. Hopefully, we don't have too much trouble trying to get a few of those. STW Benny says, oh, I didn't know that. Thank you. No problem, Benny. Or I'm pretty sure that was in reference to Kappa. But anyway. Anyway. 2.2 mil right now, not looking that good, honestly. We were doing decent beforehand. We were averaging about 5.3 mil an hour, I think it was. Now we're at 4.4 mil, but I do think some of these items here will be a little promising going forward. Just got to make sure I'm on margin for all of this stuff here. That's like the most annoying thing, in my opinion, is actually maintaining your items and moving your offers around to try to sell stuff. I really hate doing it because you have to be so active on your flips now, right? It's not just like set your flips, talk with chat and things like that. It's I have to like actually focus on my flipping and focus on the stream at the same time. It's just definitely way more engaged than it used to be. I used to be able to list items and kind of kick back a lot, not really worry too much, but now I feel like I'm always going frantic when I'm flipping, which is not really my preference. I kind of liked flipping because it was relaxing, but anyway, if I got to make some money, I got to do it any way possible. And currently, that is with the very, very active meta. Evoke says for sure. Yeah, because, like, the thing was, like, your margins were hidden, right? Like, they were secret to you, basically, unless someone else paid for a margin check or guessed the price using GE Tracker. So, you know, it kind of stinks that you have to be so active on your stuff now. There are situations where you can let things ride, but you still have to monitor the price very, very closely. Looks like the price moved again on these face guards here. Really being aggressive on the face guards right now. I think it'll be okay, though. Any way possible, he says. Seascape with his pants legs up on the... Wait. Oh. That would be a bad situation, I'll tell you that. C9 says, hey, what's up, C9, man? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in again today. These Dragon Hunter crossbows, they bought kind of quickly, boys. Not going to lie. I am a little bit nervous on them, but I think we'll be okay. You just got to believe in the flips, okay? Now, the buy price did update on those Dragon Hunter crossbows, but the sell price is a little bit old, so I'm currently listed above sell price on that. Evoke says, how are you checking your prices? Are you using the wiki's new price checker? Yeah, and I have items favorited that I just scroll through. I went through and favorited a bunch of them today, and I was using a different tool beforehand, but it is a private tool, but you'll see it in the video. Let's go ahead and list these Justiciar face guards back. I don't think we're looking at an insane margin on those face guards. Where is it? I just had it on my list, but now I can't find it. There it is. Should be good to sell there. Just need one more chain skirt off, and we are all good on those. Be happy once those sell off. They were kind of coming down on price on us, or they were coming down in price on us. My God. My commentary is tough today, guys. I do apologize. Struggling through it with half of my brain working today, it seems. It's always like that on Monday. You know why? Because I never want to go to sleep on Monday at a reasonable time, because I know, it means it's the end of my weekend. So I always hate going to sleep on Sunday night. So, of course, I stay up extra late. Now, let's go ahead and list these Dragon Hunter crossbows back for actually underneath margin. I thought we would actually be able to light that margin up above the listing, but it wasn't the case. So we'll flip it the normal way. Fine, fine. But the Dragon Warhammers are liquidating. We just got all of them off. Super, super nice. I am looking to get in on a bigger item here, but I haven't found anything that looks too good yet. The Elysian looks okay, but it's definitely a riskier one. We'll give it a shot, though. The Elysian in the current state is not something you want to hold on to. It's for sure a very risky one, but it could pay off. You never know. Austin says, what stops an item from crashing? I have a hard time investing in things I don't believe in. I see Bandos is packed all the time, but then Bandos items hold their prices. Well, an item crashes if someone sells a lot of the supply and causes like a chain reaction of other people selling the items. Now, there are other ways this can happen, like someone just dumps a mass supply and the item decreases in price because there's not enough buyers to pick it up. That is one way. But what really causes a crash is someone sells, like, for example, these Elysians. Someone might have like 8 Elysians and they start selling them for like $1 mil cheaper than anticipated on the market. And then that kind of causes a downward spiral, right? Because the next person cuts that person, then the next person cuts them, and it's a cycle downwards. And then a ton of people are in a situation where they're no longer profitable on an item, so they are forced to sell lower because they don't want to lose too much money, and that causes a chain in the downward direction. Of course, most dumps eventually do stop, but that is how they start, I'll tell you that. Let's try and get in on this Twisted Bow again. It's actually still looking okay. Gonna try to buy it a little bit cheaper than margin. We'll see if we can get it. We don't have enough? Well, that'll change here in a second. Let's do the Twisted Bow here next. And again, great margins on a lot of this stuff here. It's just you have to be a lot more active in your flipping session than previously. Looks like these Dragon Hunter crossbows came down a lot. I'm going to leave them where they are, though. Is that what happened to Inquisitor? That might have played a part in it. I think a lot of the, like, here's the thing, is the game is in, like, sort of a deflationary state right now, so GP is worth more than items in a sense because item prices are crashing. People want to hold GP. A lot of bots were banned, so a lot of that excess gold is not circulating in the economy anymore. So people think gold is a little more valuable. That being said, Inquisitor is kind of a combination of that, as well as more Inquisitor being brought into the game over time. I mean, at this point, the Nightmare boss has been out for a little bit over a year, right? It came out in February of 2020, I believe. So, yeah, I think it's just excess supply at this point. It's coming onto the exchange, you know, day in and day out. People are getting those drops at Nightmare and selling them back. So it's a little bit of just more supply coming onto the game, accompanied with this deflationary state that we're in. That's if you ask me. I mean, I'm sure other people have opinions as well, but that's what I'm seeing the most, and that's what I believe it is. Now, are we still on that Grazi? Yeah, I didn't think so. We're going to go back in on that Grazi. It's listing a pretty good margin right now, so I would like to hit that. Going to get about, I think, what, 200k on each one we do? So we'll try to get a few of those going. We're currently up about 3.3 mil, not doing terrible, currently averaging about 5.6, 5.7 mil an hour. So that's actually not too bad at all. I would like to move a couple more things, though, so we can keep that going. And this Armadillo chain skirt is coming down in price on us, so we do want to knock this one down. I do think we're going to be basically break even on that, unfortunately. Maybe not. I don't really know where we bought it. We'll see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, a little bit more than break even. We're slight profit on that. We actually flipped those Dragon Warhammers really quickly. I did not expect that. We only had 6 of them, but we still sold them off very, very fast. Not what I was expecting. Now, it looks like the margin on the Twisted Bow is actually crashing a little bit. It does look like 2 sell offers went in very, very close to each other. The margin is very tight, so I do expect this Twisted Bow to fill underneath margin. I do expect someone's going to freak out and dump one, and we'll try to pick that up. Also, I have no idea what happened to these Dragon Hunter crossbows. They just got, like, decimated here in like a second. So, anyway, we'll shift them down a little bit. We're still profitable on them. Just unfortunate we didn't get them off at their current price level. It's really on those really high margin items that you don't want to sell them too quickly back to the exchange. The prices only mean so much for those items. Again, I can try to do my best and explain it here, but I feel like the video I have coming out explains it the best way. So I'm tired now. I'm not in the mood to explain the whole thing on live stream. We do have a video coming out though. I promise it will help you. And we got to find some other stuff here. The face guard, we're still on margin for that, so I don't know why we haven't sold it off yet. We'll let it do its thing for a little bit longer here. I do have another item I found, though, that should work out for us pretty well, and that's going to be the Abyssal Bludgeon. So let's go ahead and do a couple of those flips. Should be good for about there. Now, I still flip very high quantities of items. I know that's been a question I've gotten a lot. Like, Scapenomics, do you still continue to try to flip full limits? I try to. I don't say I'm always succeeding when I do. I do try to buy as many as the item as I can. Oh, did this come down on us? Is that good? Hold on. I think we're still good there. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Yeah, I try to buy full limits. Usually it doesn't actually happen because obviously the margins move very, very quickly. But the more you can buy on these items, the better it's going to be in a situation where the item has a large margin. Now, I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to tell you that. So yeah, I do try to go for full limits, but I do try to keep a close eye on everything. And you'll constantly see me looking down at the prices to make sure I am on margin for a lot of this stuff, because it's very important to be on margin on your stuff. As the only items that are exceptions are lower volume, very high margin items, like Elysian, Twisted Bow, Scythe. Those are the items that you don't want to just immediately adjust your margins. OSRS Clue, good to see you, man. He says, hey, the Harmonious Orb is down from 810 to 775 million GP in 24 hours. Is that just too many of them coming into the game and not enough demand? Probably not. Probably just people selling them off. I mean, we could sit here and speculate all day about why certain items move in price, but at the end of the day, we really have no idea. So it's best to just play it like you have no idea and just go from there. That's how I interpret it. I mean, there are situations where yeah, oh, the economy is deflating because tons of bots are getting removed, so GP is worth more. Or like if Jagex states they moved like a trillion, GP worth from the game, or a trillion GP from the game, then obviously that is a sign that GP might right now be a little bit more valuable. And this is actually correlated to the black market for old school RuneScape, right? Like gold prices. But of course, I never recommend buying gold. I've never bought gold before in my life. If you buy gold, you will get banned, so definitely do not do that. But the movements are very correlated. I would like to get one arcane. I mean, the arcanes have just been going crazy for us here today. We're currently up about 1.3 mil on the arcanes this stream, so it's very, very nice so far on those. Also, these Grazis are kind of working out well for us as well, so I would like to get in and flip a few more of these. Let's see if the margin on those Grazis moved at all. Nope, still looking good on those. Real person, but you could say Scape is a flipping machine, says Jay. I like to think I am. I mean, I honestly think I'm not the best flipper. Like, I do think I'm good, and I'm definitely experienced, but I don't think I'm the best by any means. Infinity Kill says, hello, is this a video or a real person? It is me. I'm here live. Hello, Infinity. Good to see you, man. How often do you make typos, says Glazed? I feel like I'm making more accidental typos now looking at my own tools compared to having the price check. Glazed, 100%. I'm making a ton of typing errors. That being said, I always double check before I hit enter now. I think that's really important, but I have been making a ton of errors because it's not convenient. Like, looking at the list and then looking at your item is not a convenient thing. You got to take your eyes off the screen to, like, another page and then back to the game. It's just not really that easy. So I've been making a ton of errors as well. Wow, it sounded like a video because of no mistakes. Oh, well, I'm very happy to for you to say that. Rich Camp says, hey, Scape, good to see you, Rich Camp. Thank you for tuning in today. Welcome to the stream, man. Do appreciate it. Now, we also have OSRS saying, right on, thank you. I'm camping Nightmare, and it kind of sucks to see the biggest drop plummet. Absolutely. It could come back up in price. It could keep going down in price. Really, I have no idea. I'm not, like, this economic, expert. I'm not this analyst that knows all of these item movements. Because honestly, you can speculate forever, but it's just better to keep track of the price movement and not speculate why it's happening. You could if you want to try to make opportunity off the item, but for me, it's just easier to look at the price movements and take the volatility and try to make money out of it. I've lost so much GP not checking my prices. Dude, 100% Wuggy, man. You got to be very careful these days. That being said, boys, no more margin checks. That's kind of nice. Rich Camp with the heart. Good to see you, man. Infinity says, I got 150 mil. What kind of items should I flip? I know how, but I need some items. Well, a great way to do it is looking at the OSRS, the wiki site with the prices. I really got to get a link for that. But we do have it in our Discord group if you are interested in joining. We have a bunch of people who flip in there. We'll definitely send you the list on there. That's the best way to go about finding items because it's going to tell you what is the most profitable to flip right now. But if you want a general focus, I would recommend flipping low to medium volume items with 150 mil stack. Things like Barrow's gear, or, Archer's ring, Berserker ring is really good too. Hydra leather is another great one. Items like that are really going to do best for you in this current meta. I was reporting and PKing bots the last 2 days. More bots gone, the more my GP is worth. True. I mean, true. If you eliminate them from the game, that is definitely true. And we all share and benefit from that. So thank you, Douglas. We do appreciate it. He's really doing the dirty work out there for us, guys. Anyway, guys, if you are enjoying the stream today, please drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. I'm always bringing flipping content and flipping live streams to the channel for you guys to enjoy. So hopefully you do enjoy it. New video coming out Wednesday, guys. It's going to teach you more about flipping within this new meta. I'm sorry it took a week for me to get out. I know my video turnaround time is not that great, but at least it's going to be helpful information for you guys, and hopefully you can learn a thing or two off that video. And I'm telling you, I'm hyping this up because it's crazy. The situation I got into on the Elysian Spirit Shield in that video is off the chain, and I cannot wait for you guys to see it, okay? When you see that, drop a comment on that video, because I'm telling you, we were on a roller coaster, okay? I'll just put it that way. Wuggy says, what should I flip with 60 mil that's not the norm? again, low volume stuff, I mean, you really just have to search through a list. I'm telling you, use the old school RuneScape wiki like price site. That is you're gonna find opportunities on there. Just keep scrolling down. It has a ton of items on there that you could explore. The thing is, no items now are really quote unquote secret, right? Because as soon as something has a good margin, it's brought up by the site and other people can flip it. So there's really no secrets anymore when it comes to flipping or like secret items. There could be for overnights and stuff, but not really in active flipping. I wish there was though, but there's not really. You know, not that any items was ever secret, but like you would have your item that like would do really good all the time, you know what I mean? And you would be like, "Ooh, I'm not sharing this item." There's only like 3 items that are that way for me and that I've never shared before. That I wouldn't mind sharing them now, to be honest, but Jay says, Infinity, I definitely recommend joining the Discord. Lots of detail info in there and people can help you out. We have one of the most helpful flipping communities, man. I'm telling you, we're so helpful. We'll help like very beginner people learn how to flip in old school RuneScape, starting from nothing, or maybe you have experience and you want to advance your skills. We can definitely help you out there too. Infinity says, I joined the Discord. Well, welcome, Infinity, man. Good to have you, man. Looking forward to talking to you later. Wuggy says, why are you not a major competitive gaming host? Not gonna lie, you would kill it. Bro, it is like, you have no idea, Wuggy. It is my dream job. I would be so into that. I just can't find the connection, man. It's definitely a competitive space. Esports is not quite there yet, but man, I would love to do something like that, especially in my spare time. Like, I would love to do it so much. If I got that opportunity, I would like dedicate my life to it, man. Legitimately. And I've thought about, I'm not even kidding, I've thought about like anchoring my entire career path to like being like a weatherman or something, like or some financial reporter or something like that, because I just love putting commentary on stuff. I can't help it. But yeah, I really feel like that could be a passionate calling for me. Maybe I should keep my eye open for some opportunities there. It's weird, though. When you don't go to school for it, it's a little bit more difficult. You should get in touch with Method for OSRS tourneys. That, dude, now we're talking. Now we are talking. I'd have to learn a little bit about, like, RuneScape PKing meta, but I would love to do stuff like that. Escape for the next DMM tournament? Yo, imagine, man. That'd be insane. Like, me on the big screen, boys? Hey. Just, you know, kind of put my name out there, guys, okay? You know, if anyone asks, I'm around. I'm available. For sure, the Discord helps me out a lot, man, says C9. Dude, I'm so glad it does. That's why I tell people, like, the Discord is super helpful. It's like our second arm for the channel, man. It's just, like, people love using it. They find it super helpful. And I love just creating it, bringing people in there, and just teaching more people how to flip, because it is my most... Like, it's the thing I'm most passionate about in RuneScape. So, Gnome Paul Sportscaster, says Jay. That'd be a good April Fool's video, actually. Douglas says, I bought some Bitcoin on Sunday and it's gone down like 9%. I think I'll stick to flipping on RuneScape. GG. Can we get an F in the chat for some Bitcoin rip? Okay, sorry, I have to look at my prices here. I need to see if we're good on this. Still says I'm on margin for this Spectral Spirit Shield, so we're going to be patient there. Look at Adamant Dart, what the heck? I can't see it. Anyway. Pippo Gaming, good to see you. He says, just check the Discord. There's a flipping bot. There's flipping bots. Yes, there are flipping bots. I don't know if they've adapted to the new price information yet. It's possible they have, but I highly doubt it. That would be a pretty quick way to adopt the new bot. So I doubt it, but there definitely are flipping bots. It's been a thing for a while. It feels bad, man. We'll put it that way. The only thing I'm scared about is if, now with the real-time price information, if multiple bots, like, create a hive mind and they all work together, like, I could see that potentially being dangerous, and they can share price information with each other. That is when we're kind of looking at, like, a bad situation for botting with the real-time prices. That's my opinion. But for now, we're okay. We're living the high life over here with real-time margins. I've honestly been making a little bit more per hour than I have, and I don't know if that's because I'm more in tune and I'm more on top of my flips now. As the Twisted Bow hits 15 minutes. Literally, I say that as the Twisted Bow has been sitting there for 15 minutes. Good work, Scapenomics, man. You suck. You guys can tell me I'm bad at flipping in the chat. It's okay. Like, we can have an open forum about my skill set. We're going to do the Ancestral Row Bottom next. I do see a pretty good margin on this. I would like to hit it. I just want to know when Jagex is going to recognize competitive flipping. That's all I'm asking, man. Like, when's the next, RuneScape flipping tournament? Sign me up, man, okay? I'll give you the rule set. 1 bill cash stack, 2 hours. That's all I need, man. Anyway, Pippo Gaming says, I'm doing overnight flips pretty much at the moment. You can make a lot on overnight flips, guys. People sleep on overnight flips, I'm telling you. Like, we have people in the Discord walking away with like 6, 7, 8 mil every single night who are absolutely crushing the game. And it literally takes 5, maybe 10 minutes to set overnight flips every day. And you can just make bank over time. It's, probably about 30 to 40% of my cash stack is from overnights. Glazed Sun says, I feel like bots have to take on too much risk to have much of an effect on the higher value items compared to things like fire runes. Yeah, I would say the same exact thing. Dylan Brent says, how are the gains? Good to see you, Dylan. Thank you for tuning in. Gains are pretty good. Currently up 4.4 mil on the hour here, coming up with about 5 minutes left, currently averaging about 5 million GP an hour, which is actually on the lower end of what I've been averaging recently. I can send you guys screenshots on Discord if you want. I was destroying the Grand Exchange this weekend. I think I did like a 2-hour session, made like 21 mil or something. Absolute malarkey, if you ask me, to be quite honest. I didn't want to hurt your feelings, but 15 minutes for an item, amateur hour. Especially in the new meta, man. Like, you can't let stuff sit for 15 minutes. Scapenomics' career is ending? He's so bad? Question mark? Anyway, let's do... I'm trying to think, like, I want to flip another Twisted Bow, but we don't have enough money on hand to quite do one yet. I guess we'll just try to rotate up on price for that. I'm afraid it could come down on us here. Well, considering we have one listed for 15 minutes and it didn't fill, that should give us enough of a safety net to try to flip one of these. We'll see. Scapenomics stonks. Yeah, we added a new emote in the Discord for Scapenomics stonks. Frank says, hi, Scapenomics. Good to see you, Frank. Thank you for tuning in today. How are you doing? Malarkey. Yeah, that's it. Hey, I like to use my whole vocabulary here. But not my grammar, because for some reason when I live stream, my grammar is down the toilet. Now, Scape said, or Wuggy Bumble says, Scape doesn't suck. That's why he's going to give me a T-bow. LOL. Of course, of course. Free T-bows for everybody. Why not? I think they should put me in charge of the RuneScape Federal Reserve, and I can print GP for you guys whenever you need it. How's that sound? Pippo Gaming says, I had 2, because if I daytime flip, I don't leave the GE or play the rest of the game. Yeah, the best way, honestly, the best way that I find to flip, if you're someone who wants to flip with extremely low effort, is set your overnight flips, right? Get your overnight flips going, and then after you set your overnights, log in the next day, sell them back in the morning, log on later in the day, set some more day flips, then before you go to sleep, sell them, and just repeat that cycle all the way through. And then obviously you're selling items overnight one day, and then the next day you're buying them overnight, things like that. Currently up about 4.4 mil, guys. 57 minutes into this session here. We should probably knock back on the spectrals here, try to secure that last little bit of profit here at the end, since we haven't really been doing that yet. So let's go ahead and get that started. We'll let those sell off here, and we'll just hold the Twisted Bow and the Arcane Spirit Shield in our inventory. Now, Alassin says, so you, do you think it got harder to flip after the RuneLite plus Wiki price update? I think it got harder, but I don't think it's impossible, and I think it's now a more profitable situation for active flippers. I mean, I see people crushing profit amounts. I mean, even I've had some really good sessions. Now that the OSRS Wiki has price information and like a GE tracker type thing built out, I do think that will affect active flipping, and I think it's going to be a lot more competitive now. just because of those prices. I mean, they're so convenient to find. They're so easy to find. The tool is free to use, and that could bring in a lot of competition going forward. And I do see that being the case. How can I learn flipping overnight? So pretty new to active flipping as well. Raf, if you want to learn more about overnight flipping, I do have 2 guides on my channel and another one to come soon regarding the real-time price information. Or if you'd like a place to kind of chat with other players about overnight flipping and getting some, one-on-one coaching or whatever it may be, then you can join us on Discord if you'd like. Link in the description below. Feel free to message me privately. I have like 12 DMs going with people legitimately every day that I don't respond to them like very quickly, but every single person that DMs me gets a response. I'm telling you, unless like you said some dumb thing that I'm not going to respond to. But literally anyone who reaches out to me looking for help with flipping, I will help you or point you in the right direction. I promise. Raf says, thanks, bro. Great vibe. Thank you, Raf. Do appreciate it. And thank you for tuning in. Do appreciate that as well. We're wrapping up this last Spectral Shield here, coming up right on the hour mark. Raf with the follow. Thank you for the follow over on Twitch, Raf. Welcome to the flipping team. Hopefully, I can help you out and teach you a thing or two about flipping and money making in RuneScape. I mean, that's what we're all about here on the Scapenomics channel, so I'm glad you are enjoying it. I'm hoping we can get this last Spectral Shield off here really quick, and then we can wrap up the stream from there, guys. Pretty good session, though. Nothing crazy. It's actually my least profitable session since the real-time price update, which, I'll take it, though. You have to keep in mind that we are flipping during the most active time to play old school RuneScape. So, like I said earlier in the stream, I think with real-time price information now, it is almost essential to flip during off-peak hours. Like, you're going to triple your profits, literally. I mean, I'll show you these screenshots that I have on Discord of, like, me just pulling massive profits off hours. And since we are flipping during, like, the most active time on these live streams, it's not great. But that being said, we still did decent, 4.5 mil an hour, which is very, very nice. Very happy with that. And honestly, I think a lot of players would be happy with that. That being said, I do have max cash, so it is a little bit different. Probably should have made a little bit more than that. Regardless, though, we're not going to be ashamed. Profit is profit. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this one, be sure to drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. Give us a subscription on YouTube, a follow on Twitch, whatever you must do to stay tuned to the channel and improve your flipping skills, okay? So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. 4.5 mil in an hour. Very nice. And I'll see you all in the Discord and on Wednesday for our next flipping session. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in, and see you in the next one.